Hello Geminis, welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. I'm so excited to have each and every one of you. Welcome back to the subscribers and welcome to the newbies. I'm excited you stumbled across this channel or it was passed along to you. We're going to do your monthly spread today for the month of June. As always, these are general messages, so keep in mind not everything I say is going to resonate with all the lovely Geminis out there. So only take away messages for your best and highest good, and you will know what those are intuitively, okay? I encourage you to check Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs if you want additional messages or clarity. If you don't know how to do that, there'll be a link that shows you in the description box below. And in that box will be all the other information you'll need about this reading, the decks I'm using, my social media channels, The Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram. Other than that, let's get started. Let's get some general messages for the sign of Gemini for the month of June. So rough timestamp on this is a month, right? But as you all know, energy is free-flowing, so there really is no fixed stop or start date. If you happen to bump into this video, there's probably something you can take away. And do pardon my scratchy throat and red nose. I have a little bit of a cold. But energetically, I'm good. I woke up and I knew I wanted to do Gemini's reading today. So I felt it. It was in the air. So we'll see what we can pull for the Gemmy friends. I do look a little rough today, don't I? Sorry, guys. Bear with me. I think you guys are going to have a good month, though. It's your birthday month, so happy early birthday. Possibly belated birthday, depending on when you see this. All right. Anything else we need for Gemini? Mix up the shuffling here. Get some cards going. All right. So bottom of your deck is the Holly King. The light's going to be tricky there. So this is the Hermit in this deck. I'm laughing because I feel like you guys have been getting that card a lot, actually. And it's your birthday month. That's no time for Hermit mode, but maybe you're coming out of that. So let's see what we can get for this spread. So the U card, the center of your spread. All right, so this is the Five of Wands, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. This can sometimes be the card of conflict or like too many cooks in the kitchen. We think wands are passion, wands are fire. So sometimes it's argument. With this card, I don't always see that though. It looks very, it looks very group team dynamic. Like, you know, they're all in a choir, right? Or they're making music together. And so there's a need for everyone to be on the same page and be able to, I want to say communicate even without words, like be able to look and understand like what the other needs, what you need. It has to do with quick communication. And I mean, we're in Gemini season, so what a fantastic time to pull this card. But if there's something creative, I think, that you're trying to do with other people. This could be at work, this could be in your friendship group. But it seems nice. The energy actually, it doesn't seem like conflict to me. It just seems like maybe a lot of different types of people coming together. So people who their passions may lie in different areas. But yeah, it's like something about you guys coming together to accomplish maybe this goal or maybe just to come together and, I don't know, celebrate somebody. Maybe it's your birthday. There's something really beautiful when these people come together and everyone is even-keeled, even-tempered. It's like you make symphonies together. At night, specifically, right? There's something very mystical about this card. Let's pull a clarifier on it and see what we can get. So that makes sense that this would be coming out for you, maybe, especially if you are, you know, the type who throws, you know, a big lavish party for your birthday, or even so, like a small grouping of people. There's something about it, you do want it to have that magic kinetic feel to it, and this card very much does. So interesting that your overall card there, bottom of the deck, was the Holly King, the Hermit. Because it seems like a transition out of that. It's like you're calling in your people, Gemini. That's sort of what I'm getting from this. The idea of how I was saying, like, communicating non-verbally, the way it's like I don't know, like I'm just getting like that visual, you know, in like love story movies. Someone plays that song on the radio and then there's this nice montage that transitions to someone else and they're also listening to that song even though they're not together. They're alone together. There's something about that, but I think it is trying to draw people in. It's very cool. I actually really like this card. All right, so you got the King of Wands in reverse. So this is in the upright. So this is clarifying this Five of Wands energy. So, okay, King of Wands, he's the king of passion, he's the king of travel, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, more double wand energy, right? Specifically, this is a Leo card if you're dealing with a Leo. Stubbornness, somebody using their powers, if you will, because, you know, wands are powerful. Somebody not using their power in a good way or in a beneficial way. Because so much of this had to do with the group dynamic, it's almost like there's one like stubborn team player who's not totally willing to give up on their ideas, someone who's maybe very headstrong, someone who's not looking out for, sorry guys, someone who's not looking out for the benefit of the group, just somebody who's headstrong is sort of what I'm getting here. I don't necessarily know if it's you, Gemini. That didn't speak to me when this card came out. It is a very like feminine depiction, if you will, of this king with all of kind of like the pinks and the floofy things. So not saying it has to be a female, but yeah, this someone who has more feminine energy. And again, masculine and feminine energies, we all exist within us, right? No matter what gender you associate with. Yeah, someone just being like a stubborn wheel. Or if they're not being stubborn, they're just not on the same page as everyone else. And it could be a lack of understanding. It's, you know, it's like, because you're an air sign, Gemini, if you're dealing with someone who has very heavy fire, it's not that if, you know, you have an opinion on something, it's not that neither one is, or either party is right or wrong. You just have different ways of viewing it. You have different ways of tackling a situation. That could be what this is. So there's a little bit of, I'm just saying, for this beautiful, harmonious, you know, choir of people singing together, creating magic, putting beautiful things out in the universe, there's someone who, this could also be someone feeling isolated. There's a difference in this person's energy versus the group. You can tell by the color, right? Very dark, then very light. And again, I'm not necessarily saying this person is wholly like bad or evil. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more like miscommunication. That's just what it is. And because this is the card of conflict sometimes, while generally the tone of, or energy, I should say, of how it came out here, it didn't feel nasty. You may be recovering a relationship with one of these persons who maybe was like outside the circle, who was a little bit isolated, and maybe you're welcoming them back in, Gemini, right? Maybe, you know, it's your birthday, you're throwing a party, maybe you're feeling generous, you're going to invite that old friend, you're going to invite the parent who you don't always get along with, but you're trying to make peace. It's like it's just like the low man on the totem pole, the stuck energy. I think you guys get what I'm saying, right? The loner who needs to join the group, or who needs to maybe get off their high horse. Your spread, the other one had a lot to do with ego, I think. This could be someone who has a boisterous ego. The thing is, they want to be part of this group. They don't want to be excommunicated. They don't want to be isolated anymore. But they probably have a very strong will because they're a fire sign, right? Especially Leo. Yeah, it's so letting their guard down and making an apology is probably not this person's forte, if you know what I mean. It's not their strong suit. So bear that in mind, right? You know, everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different, but I do sense this person is longing to be part of the group. For most of you, I don't think this is you, Gemini. For a few of you, you know, take what resonates, okay? So in your past, you have the crone. Okay, interesting. So this is the card of Leo. It's the strength card in this deck, card number 8. So, you know, you can see the lion right there. And okay, because the maiden, the mother, and the crone, the 1, 2, 3, it's the baby, the mother, the grandmother, if you will, in tarot. So this is an older energy. Potentially the same person, double Leo cards. Now, there's a lot here, right? It could be someone older than you. It could be someone who has felt abandoned or isolated for quite some time, right? They don't literally have to be your grandmother. For some of you, sure. If granny's tricky to deal with, maybe for some of you. Sorry, I keep shaking that. I'm trying to get comfortable here. All right. I'm just getting that this is the person potentially who was in hermit mode, who's had to walk that long path on their own. And here's the thing, because this is the strength card, if you will, it's going to take a lot of strength, a lot of courage, if you will, for them to meet you in the middle. And I think bridge this gap, make peace. Because bear in mind, I think Gemini, this is the same, oh, sorry. I think this is the same energy. Again, masculine or feminine, it doesn't really matter. There is a sense of someone at a distance, whether it's a physical distance or emotional. Do you understand what I mean? Someone who, again, there may have been some petty arguments, some rifts, some conflicts, maybe some bad blood, however, you know, different severities of that. But I see this person as coming to make a peace offering with you. Do you see how she's holding flowers? It's like she's gathered that on her journey. Maybe he or she has had to go into hermit mode and do some self-reflecting, some looking at themselves, their good qualities as well as their bad qualities, things they want to change, things they're not happy with. Shine light on the interior, the soul. How does this person's soul need to grow? That's what this person is coming from. And again, it kind of similar in the energies of the cards, the gaining of wisdom, the older, wiser energies. They've been through a lot. This person has been on a journey of transformation. And because this is coming in from the past, this is who's coming into this fun little circle, this little witch's coven, if you will. That suits you, Gemini. That might be it. Sorry, gotta take a sniffle break. All right, so your challenge, your obstacle potentially is the King of Cups. Okay, that's perfect. Scorpionic energy. This is a card of Scorpio. Might be dealing with a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Again, heavy fire energy here too. Aries, Leo, Sag. The King of Cups is the King of Love. Sometimes the King of Fatherhood. The King of Emotions, right? And the thing with that, he's not messy with his emotions. He's very skilled. He's been through many rough battles. He's a king, right? But we think about battles on the emotional front. He's had a lot of scars, right? And he's had to learn to deal with those, to recuperate and to understand whom he gives his love to and whom he holds back from, essentially, right? There's great balance to when and who he shows his emotions to, okay? So that makes sense. If you have someone coming into your life, Gemini, and they've been maybe on the outskirts a little bit, again, just kind of a little bit of conflict, little bit of ego, little bit of just disagreements, and petty too. It's not the Five of Swords, which is the petty conflict card by definition. This is conflict, but again, it's similar energy. You have something good in your life, though, Gemini. I do sense you do have a stable, solid group of people that you do go to. And again, this could be your family. It doesn't have to be a best friends group. For a lot of you, I think it is, because there is kind of this young, youthful energy about it. So no matter what age you are, there's that sense of the people you get together with, and, you know, you throw back some beers, you have ladies' night, you have this, you know, that fun, joyous energy, not when you're, it's not so much hanging out with your parents type energy. And again, for some of you, it might be, but most of you, it's that fun group that makes you feel alive. So if someone is trying to enter that group, it's like there's a safety circle about it. It's like friends who got your back. So I think you're debating who you're going to give your love, who you're going to give your emotions to. Essentially, who are you going to welcome in, right? The fact that there are two kings here, it does kind of speak of a power struggle, if you will. So I am thinking this is more you, Gemini. Feel free to reverse the roles. But I think you're being very cautious of who you give your cup to, especially if this person was the cause of some petty drama, conflict in the past. If this person was, didn't we use the gasoline to the fire? That was coming up in your other spread. It may be similar to that. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen those, check out your love and career readings. They are still relevant. They are still posted. So yeah, I think your challenge is going to be who you welcome at your table. Who's going to sit down and who are you going to break bread with, right? If this is your birthday feast, right, or some celebration, your Memorial Day barbecue with the family or whatever, who are you going? I'm just sensing that this person may be at some sort of social function with you, and it's like you see each other, but it's like who's going to make the first move to, like, again, break bread, to bridge the gap, to repair the relationship, essentially. Even the way I read this card differently every time, depending on what happens to it. Sometimes when I see these swarm of bees, he has bees at his cup and around this table, the idea that he's sweet as honey, he draws insects, his love is like nectar. I sense it that way. I also see it as something's gone foul, the way like flies go to like moldy, like the trash or something that smells rotten or corrupted. It's not you, that's not what I'm saying. It's this relationship has gone stale. There's something about it where it's attracting bugs, it's attracting insects. There needs to be like a wipe the slate clean, like a open the windows, let the sun shine in, but that's symbolic of what you need to rebuild in this relationship. And for some of you, maybe it is a relationship, it absolutely could be, but because it just seems to me like there's multiple people involved. So, I mean, maybe someone in this relationship was juggling multiple people. I mean, we can always read that when there are two kings, right? Whether it was masculine or feminine. If you're relating to this, maybe you had two people. Maybe you had a stubborn fire king and more an emotional giving king of water, king of cups. I'm not getting that for most of you, but, you know, if it resonates, cool. So let's clarify this king of cups. Do we need to know anything else about this king of cups? This could be your father, absolutely. Okay. Justice. Absolutely. That's exactly what I was saying about there needs to be a swatting at the flies, letting the fresh sunshine in, tossing out the old garbage, releasing yourself of baggage, emotional burdens and baggage, leveling out the scales, a level playing field so that everybody can come together at the same table in harmony, Gemini. I take this card as seeing through the bullshit. It's like instead of disguising the emotions, why don't we be upfront with how we're really feeling, even if that means being vulnerable? Because if you choose, I want to say, the easy path of not speaking your truth, especially about how you feel. With the King of Cups, that's important here. Whoever is the opposing factor in this, if you will, they're going to see right through it, right? Her eyes are laser beams. So you can pretend that you weren't hurt, you can pretend that you weren't damaged, you can pretend that you weren't angry. But I'm just getting, they see right through it. And again, this could be your energy as well. And in fact, I think it could be a mutual, you guys know each other so well, like, why are we putting up this charade? Like, let's just get down to it and be real with each other, because we see each other. We understand and know what went on. Let's not put on our blinders, right? Let's deal with the situation directly. All right, so that is the challenge or focus. It has to do with expressing the emotions, and I think there's something very important about seeing the truth here. Justice, the scales. You might be dealing with a Libra. Yeah. Okay, so what is going to be the help available to you? The Battle Wagon. I love it. This is the card of Cancer. This is the Chariot in most decks. So we know the Chariot talks about balancing the inner energies, our dark and our light, our negative, our positive, our good and our bad, which everybody has, right? We're human. Balancing that internally so that it reflects externally. So this is perfect, actually. When people come into our environment, our universe, when people try and, I want to say invade the group, but that sounds too hostile. When people come to join along, no matter how imbalanced or uneven tempered they are, because internally we are so even tempered and we have it together, we're at peace with ourselves, we're confident in ourselves, like nothing's going to tear you down. This is a card of victory, of forward movement. So when your internal is balanced, your external is balanced, and people can come in and throw shit at you, throw their words, this and that, and it's just going to roll right off your back. Like, you're too cool for school because you got it together, Gemini. And it's not ego. It's not like that flipping my hair like I'm better than you. That has nothing to do with this card. This is, there's something about being humble here. That's important too. But it's like you are too focused on the goal, the destination at hand, to even be bothered by the internal conflict, or I'm sorry, the external conflict coming at you. Like, your Chariot is moving forward and you're not stopping for anybody. if they want to join you on the ride, you know, if they're going to be of some help to you and they want to, do you know what I'm saying metaphorically? If they want to come, you know, join the party, hop on the chariot with you and you know, be on your team to get to the destination, to that victory, sure, come along. But again, you don't have time for anybody who has misguided intentions, for lack of a better word. Cruel intentions. So that's the help available to you. So if you aren't in this energy of having internal balance, of it's like having, I want to say having the ace up your sleeve, there's some expression, but it basically, be ready. Forewarned is forearmed. There's something here because you need to anticipate people coming back into your life, Gemini, especially in group dynamics and social gatherings in the coming month or so. Be ready to face that person who maybe you have sort of an uneven relationship with. You know, the scales have been tilted with them. Come into it being armed and ready. Again, balanced and calm. You shouldn't be fighting fire with fire, which is what this card is. You need to be even-keeled in yourself in order to deal with those coming at you. That's going to be helpful to you. You might be dealing with a Cancer. You may have a lot of Cancer in your chart. Let's throw a clarifier on the battle wagon for Gemini. Ooh, you got 2. The King of Cups again. Okay, same exact card. So it's talking about being even-tempered with your emotions. I really need to hammer that home for you, Gemini. That's what this is saying, like tenfold. Again, scorpionic energy. But interestingly enough, he wears the little crab on him too. So you have essentially the card of Cancer being clarified by the King of Cups, which is usually Scorpio, but with that extra dose of Cancer. And I think that's important because how I was saying, the King of Cups can be fatherly energy. Cancer is the maternal sign, the mother of the zodiac. So again, that nurturing, kind, generous, approachable, having that emotion, having that temper when you're in social gatherings is going to be of help to you, Gemini. Now, you might not see it that way, but that's what the cards are saying. There's a need to be upfront with your emotions, and that doesn't mean overgiving. In a lower vibration, a Cancer will give, right? And that can be toxic, right? But there's a need to, again, balance the scales, be just about like being truthful to your emotions and how you're feeling. Because something about being cold, being withdrawn, it's going to get your chariot stuck. Your goal, your destination, wherever you're headed, your path of life, it's like your wheel's going to get stuck in the mud. It's like you're going to be revving your engine and it's just spinning out. That's what this is saying. Also being clarified by the Prince of Swords. So communication, air energy. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here. Swords talk about, again, communication, ideas, logic, thought, analysis, data. So how I was saying, you don't need to overgive with your emotions. I think this is saying think about it. Be in a good state of mind. Again, forewarned is forearmed. Play out scenarios in your head. If you're going to see this person at a party that I'm just sensing, again, you're not super excited about it, how are you going to deal with it? Like, have that ace up your sleeve. What are you going to say to this person? If you happen to be caught in the corner and this person approaches you, rather than panicking and just spewing out all these like old wounds of memories of things you always wanted to say but didn't, can you do it in a classy way? Can you have that ace up your sleeve to know in advance how you're going to handle the situation? Like a king, right? The king of love, the king of kindness, justice, balance. So what's going to be of help to you? Yeah, being in touch with your emotions and the foresight, the knowledge in advance, gathering your ideas and literally maybe writing it pen to paper, right? Like maybe exercise those nasty thoughts if you still have some of that inside of you, to get it out of your system and then be like, okay, now let's edit. Where can I take away? How can I make this sound nicer? This could absolutely be a relationship, like an ex. And I don't want to do these readings and put like fear of you, like, oh my God, I don't want to run into this person. You might not. This is just kind of like a general roadmap that, hey, down the road, potentially this could happen, so maybe get your ducks in a row. All right, so the guidance or outcome potentially, for me it's more guidance or advice, is this 8 of a theme. So in this it's the 8 of Swords. So more air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It is a Gemini card, and this is the idea of mental entrapment. It's something that keeps us stuck in fear to the point where we think we have no way out. We think we have no way, no option of movement forward. And you do. We know that you do because you have the Chariot. That's a card of movement. But this is frequently called the I can't card. I can't do it because I'm not pretty enough. I can't do it because I'm not smart enough. I can't do it because I'm not skinny enough. I can't do it because I'm afraid to talk to that person. I can't do it because they don't like me. It's the bullshit we tell ourselves that keep us mentally trapped with swords here. It's like if you were just to take off that blindfold and realize there's nothing keeping you trapped there. These little daggers that are in the ground, you can walk right past them. You can untie your own rope. Sorry, Gemini, my camera froze. It does that. So yes, the 8 of Swords, mental entrapment. So there's something you need to free yourself of. And again, because it's swords, it's ideas. It's ideas that are in your mind maybe that are kind of swimming around. Swimming around, right? Cups, emotions, water. These emotions potentially are swimming around in your head. And yeah, there's a need to get clarity on them. And to not let that restrict you, I think, from, I mean, as cheesy as it sounds, like living your best life, especially if it has to do with a relationship with somebody who's coming up in this spread for you. You can't live your life in the past. You can't live your life because of what other people have done, because of other people's actions. Because ultimately this card is what you've done to yourself, right? And tough love, I'm sorry, but like, you can paint yourself in a corner and say, well, this person made me feel this way. I didn't do this. You choose you can choose how you deal with the things people throw at you, ultimately, right? You can't control what people say. You can't control what people think. You can only choose or control how you react to it. So if this is how you're reacting to it, that takes, I would advise you to look at that. Why do you feel, ultimately it's fear. It's fear that's holding you back. What is fearful about taking off that blindfold and stepping out of those swords? What does that mean though? What is fearful about what are the obstacles keeping you back from going out and partying, from reconciling with potentially a person who you had some bad feelings towards? I don't think this was earth-shattering. There's no tower here. We don't have the 3 of Swords. Again, that kind of petty conflict, that bickering of he said, she said, tempers, right? Fire, wands. I don't think this, for most of you, I don't think this is something that is going to end a relationship forever. It's just something that, you know, strikes and gutters, right? This was a gutter ball in the relationship. If you want to fix it, this, you know, this could be you or the other person. It could be both of you. They want to rejoin the group. It's kind of up to you. Do you want to take them with you on your journey through life, or wherever you're going right now? Because maybe you also felt isolated, right? The Hermit did come up, and if it's not your person, this is the card of Virgo, by the way. Did I mention that? I don't think I did. You might be dealing with a Virgo. You have a lot of signs here. But you may have felt outcast too. Like maybe this conflict, you know, there was a sever in the relationship, and both of you kind of went soul searching. Maybe something happened where it caused you to really go within and maybe look at, you know, some of the qualities you would like to fix about yourself. Maybe you do have a short temper. Maybe you can be a little bit judgmental, right? Absolutely, that could be it. You know, it's there's 2 sides to every story, right? I'm pro Gemini. I'm on Team Gemini here, but I'm also Team Gemini. Let's get you out of this. If that's you, if fears are holding you back. This could also be pride too. I don't usually get it with this card, but just given the spread we've had, the idea of, well, I'm right, but look at you. You're right, but you're stuck. So, you know, how right are you? Let's throw a clarifier on that. Then we got to wrap it up. All right, let's get a clarifier for the 8 of Swords for Gemini, please, for the month of June. Can we get a clarifier? I just said we didn't have the 3 of Swords or the Tower. And there's the Tower. So this is a life-changing event. The Tower comes in, it comes after the Devil, numerically, right? The Devil is symbolically something in our life that is toxic, that keeps us stuck. It could be an addiction. It can be staying in an abusive relationship. It can be, it can be an overindulgence, an excess of, whatever, drugs, alcohol, a person. It can be codependent relationships. It can be staying at a job that is doing you no favors. It's making you sick mentally or emotionally or whatever. The Tower comes in when you're stuck in devil energy to sweep it all away, to burn it to a crisp so that you can rebuild. And okay, I actually like that the Tower it's clarifying this fear of moving forward, this potentially that pride of not wanting to admit that you were wrong, potentially, not for all of you. That shit needs to go. And that's what your last spread was saying. I'm sorry for some of you, you're holding on to this ego, and it's, whether you realize it or not, it's a mental trap for you. If it isn't now, it's a bad pattern that is going to keep coming back until you learn how to deal with it, until you learn how to rebuild, right? The Tower is burnt, right? It's on fire. It is going to burn all the way down so that you can rebuild from the ground a solid foundation, a solid structure. Putting a Band-Aid on this relationship of, well, they were wrong, so whatever, I'm going to cut them out of my life. I would really, really take is it a magnifying glass? Is that the term? To how you deal with relationships in your life, Gemini. Because something about it's like your behavior, but what you're telling yourself in your head, the fear card, the I can'ts, this could be just busting out and liberating yourself. I'm not saying at all that you guys have to repair this relationship. If this relationship was the devil, then good. This Tower had to come through to remove them from you because maybe you couldn't do it yourselves. But even in that case, if this is talking about you maybe having lingering feelings for someone that was toxic, again, clarified by the burn it down, baby, liberate yourself. Get out of that headspace that this is the only person who will ever love me. They're the only one who will ever treat me right. I can't afford to live on my own. I have to stay with them. Whatever these false ideas are that's keeping you trapped, take off the blindfold. Balance the scales out. See the truth. I said there was something really important about seeing here. And I mean, overall energy was strength, finding your inner strength, finding your confidence to press on. And again, her age, maybe it has been a long, difficult journey. Maybe you've been at it in this situation with this person, with a family member potentially, and it's just not healthy. There's a need to completely rebuild. I love Tower cards because when you're feeling stuck, it's this idea that things are going to be shaken up, whether you like it or not. Something big is coming. And because this is your advice, it's not a certainty. We all have free will. This is saying something in your life that is keeping you stuck, that is hindering your freedom, your enjoyment of life, of seeing clearly, it needs to be completely rebuilt. It's like the way you deal or cope with the idea of whatever this is for you, Gemini, it's going to be different. You need to relearn how to emotionally or mentally deal with those types of situations, or again, cycles. It's just going to keep happening. All right, so let's pull you an oracle card and we will call it a day. These cards are ginormous, but they're so cool. They're hard to shuffle, but I wanted to use them. All right, so what can we get? Whoops, got two here. What can we get for Gemini? What card can go out? Oh, that came right out. All right. For Gemini, kindred spirits. Can you see that? Sorry, the light is not great. I love that, Gemini. So, I mean, interpret that as you will, but for those looking to reconcile, I would say that this is a good omen, if you will. And for those who do not want to rectify the situation, for those who just want to be freed, who want to sever this and be free from this person, this is also hopeful to be saying, there's someone else in the world out there for you. Grow, transform, right? Chrysalis, cocoon to the butterfly. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change your patterns of behavior and go after new things and ultimately find that person or those people, kindred spirits, right? Kindling wood of a fire, who make your soul sing, right? Gemini, I love this for you. This was actually a very hopeful reading. Okay, that's what I got for you for the month of June. Please do like, share, subscribe. Somewhere down here, go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe. Okay, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Check out the social media and the Intuitive Teacup, and I will see you guys soon.